Pain and Gain is the new film from Michael Bay. No, 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 no. Hold on, hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop. Don't just leave just yet. Don't. No, trust me, honestly, because I know it's hard for me to say this, but it's actually quite good. Although the film does employ many multitudes of Bayisms, of which we'll get to shortly, it's not as horribly annoying, crass, and just repulsive and defensively bad as his last work. In fact, I'd probably say this is his best work since Bad Boys. And the main reason is because there's not explosions every 2 minutes, there's not franging, banging, clanging noises all over your face and in your ears. There isn't racial archetypes, there isn't P jokes. Actually, no, I take that back. There is one sort of P joke. So, oh, damn it, Michael, you were on a roll. Essentially, it's a much more grounded and down to earth film, as much as grounded and down to earth appeals to Michael Bay and actually exists in his lexicon of film language. The plot is pretty straightforward. It's based on a true story, a pretty grisly true story, which of course is given like the black comedy spin and the sort of anarchic, messy approach by Mr. Michael Bay. It's centered around a character of Daniel Lugo, who is played here by Mark Wahlberg, who is a muscle-headed bodybuilder in Miami during the mid-90s, who is striving to find the American dream. He believes that he deserves it. In the words of Johnny Woo, which is played by Ken Jeong, who's like an inspirational speaker throughout the film, if you deserve it, the universe will serve it. And that's pretty much Mark Wahlberg's character's mantra. That's Danny Lugo's ultimate spiritual belief, that he deserves much more. He deserves the riches and the good life more than the people that he trains day in, day out at Sun Gym. So he comes up with this harebrained scheme to kidnap one of his clients, one of the people that he gives personal private fitness sessions to, who is like a millionaire local business owner, but also has like offshore accounts, etc., etc. So he has this harebrained scheme to kidnap him and get him to sign over all of his assets. And that's pretty much what happens. He enlists the help of two other muscle-bound bodybuilding idiots, played by Anthony Mackie, who is obsessed with getting big. He's obsessed with doing steroids and getting jacked. And then you have the other character, who is played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who is like a born-again Christian / cocaine fiend, who really, to be honest, is the key to the film's success. His character is fantastic. Every time he's on screen, it's an utter joy to watch. Whether it's him bonding with their hostage and trying to deliver some kind of Christian enlightenment, or if it's when he goes off the rails and starts using cocaine again and sort of hijacks a neighbourhood watch meeting, which is one of the funniest scenes in the film and generally got quite a lot of laughs from me. And ultimately, that is what makes the film, it's hard to say, but enjoyable, because it kind of is really quite funny in places. It is one hell of a mess of a film. It is all over the place in terms of structure and delivery. As I said, it is riddled with Michael Bayisms. It's really flashy, it's over the top, it is kind of gratuitously horrible towards women at points. It is just loud and it's noisy. Not as loud and as noisy as his last few films for certain, but it is full of the flashy, all style and no substance Bayisms. And it is very much a film that is more stylish than substance at all, because it really doesn't have much of a message at all. And the characters are kind of horrible, but they are quite funny in their buffoonery, and that is where the film becomes enjoyable. The first half in particular, because the second half really does kind of dwindle out and spiral out of control, and you do begin to lose interest in a big bad way towards the end. But you know, initially it starts off pretty well. In a weird comparison and a sort of euphemism, I guess, it's almost as if the film itself is actually on steroids whilst doing cocaine, because it does feel just really pumped and jacked and it's just pulsing with adrenaline. And then when it starts to die down, it's like it takes another bump of cocaine and it's just like, wow, we're back into it now. It is a film that is full of macho bravado, and it really does, in essence, take itself seriously, but at the same time it also kind of has its tongue in cheek at places as well. And when it does that, and when it becomes self-aware of itself doing that, that's when there is fun to be had from the film. It is a mess. It is all over the place. It is flashy. It is loud. It is a Michael Bay film, as you would expect. But the amount of humour that comes from the characters, in particular Dwayne Johnson's character and his performance, it's worth seeing simply just for a little bit of entertaining fare because, you know, despite all of its problems, of which there are many, it is actually quite entertaining, to say the least. It gets a 6, and that's pretty good for Michael Bay.